cloud computing is by far the most reliable, secure and predictable careers in IT industry today because it has matured, and in the coming decades, cloud computing will continuously grow in demand. But for someone who comes from a non-technical background, is it possible for him or her to enter into cloud computing or a cloud-based career in IT? Well, yes, the answer is yes. And in this video, we'll talk about 5 such non-technical roles which you could target with whatever skills you have gained so far in whichever profession you are coming from. So let's understand these 5 roles, and if the time allows, I will also cover a bonus role which I initially thought I would not discuss because it's very obvious, but then I thought no, we should be discussing it because it is one of the most highest paid roles in cloud, although it is a bit challenging, but we'll discuss that as well. So without further ado, let's get started. So the number one area is cloud sales. Regardless of whichever business you are in, you need sales in order to drive revenue, in order to derive your actual profit. And cloud is no different. If you are good in sales, if you have done your MBA in sales, if you have had previous sales experience, then there are multiple roles which keeps on coming up. If you see on LinkedIn, which is around cloud sales. And in this, basically your responsibility is to grow the business. You need to go out, talk to the new customers, grow the business, grow the revenue, and basically sell cloud services and cloud products to your customers. And then you have to also maintain your business pipeline. You will be given targets. You have to meet or exceed those targets. But trust me, if you can penetrate into this role, it is a very rewarding role. But the question remains that how I can get into it without any technical knowledge? Well, as a sales representative or a sales head or a cloud sales manager, you need not to be an expert on cloud. At the minimum, because you are selling something, you have to have basic understanding of what it does. For example, if I want to sell this marker to anybody, and if I have no clue how it has been manufactured, at least I need to know what it does, what are its features, how it stands out from other markers in the market. Okay, so if you are good in sales, if you have done B2B sales, business to business sales, or B2C sales, for example, in your past experience, then definitely get into cloud sales. It would be one of the most rewarding careers being a non-technical person.
Hello friends, just in case you want to start your journey on cloud, especially on AWS cloud, which is the leading cloud provider in the market, then do check out my course AWS for Complete Beginners. It has all the core ingredients which you need for a perfect start to your cloud career, and I am definitely sure that it will help you kickstart your cloud journey. So do check out the course link in the description. And now back to our video.
The second non-technical role is of a cloud account manager. So if the sales team has done their job, we are expecting a new customer which has just come into our our business, and we have to make sure that the relationship with the customer is strong. We are nurturing that relationship. We are providing the services which we promised during our sales cycle, right? So as an account manager, your job is to nurture the existing relationship with your customers. You have to also find opportunities to upsell and cross-sell your cloud services. For example, your sales team has sold a service or a product in, for example, in a database area, a database service or something of that sort. Now, as an account manager, the customer might come and say, "Hey man, it's going great. We are using this, but do you have any service which could help us build our microservices environment?" Now, as an account manager, this is an opportunity to cross-sell. Cross-selling means you have already sold one product and now you are selling another product from your portfolio. That is what is cross-selling. Now you can take it as a product or as a service. So whatever roles we are talking about, it could exist either in a product company, which is actually a cloud provider like a Google Cloud or Amazon or Azure, or you could be in a service company like IBM, Infosys, Accenture. So you have to understand that be it a service or be it a product, your job would be more or less the same. Another responsibility of an account manager is to collaborate with all the different teams, the engineering team, the CEOs and the CXOs of your organization understand what is the vision, where we want to take this particular relationship. You might also have certain targets in your in your mind that okay, we have to grow this account, from a 5 million account to a 10 million account. So it is more about nurturing the existing relationship, and I would like to just digress a bit and tell you a very important concept in sales. Sales basically talks about two kinds of roles. Okay, so basically, now this is a bit off topic but good to know. So sales has two kind of roles. First is a hunter. So hunter is someone who might be doing your cloud sales. So these are your BDMs. So don't think that you would have a role name like this. You would also have something like business development manager. That is also a sales kind of a role. Okay, and by the way, the sales happen across all the roles. So it is not specific, but a BDM, a business development manager, will always go and try to get into a green field project where we have no existence. But once we have got that customer, once we have got that deal, then comes another role, which is of the farmer. So here your BDM sits, okay, and here sits your BRM, which is a business relationship manager. Now the names could vary, okay, don't get fixated on the names, but what I'm trying to say is that your account manager will play a proxy business relationship manager. By the way, you will have roles dedicated to business relationship management as well. So the crux is, if you have already managed big portfolios, if you have already maintained or worked with customers and build your own portfolios, then a cloud account manager could be a very good role. From a technical perspective, you need not to be technical per se, but again, knowing what you are selling or knowing what you are promoting or knowing what you are delivering always helps. So whatever product you are building, selling, delivering, you need to have an overview of it. So same applies here as well for the cloud account manager. Now let's understand which is our third role. The third role is of a customer success manager, cloud customer success manager. These roles exist outside cloud as well. So a customer success manager is an advocate of the customer. So once everything is done, who would ensure that the customer is actually getting return on investment? Okay, this role a few years back it did not exist. A lot of the things which this role used to do was already done by the account manager or other roles in the company. But customer success manager, the name is customer success, which means that this person is whole and sole responsible for making sure that customer is succeeding with the product and the value or the service we are delivering to him. And that's why customer success manager will be aligned with all the areas which are delivering to the customer. They will be actually the advocates, sometimes devil's advocate, because they will take a strong stand for the customer, although they are your colleagues, although they are working for you in your company, but they will stand with the customer. They will highlight if they are facing any challenges. They will highlight if they are not getting enough support for their support requests. They will continue to come and caution the status quo, and that's what makes this role very important. As a customer success manager, you will be working very closely with the customer, and this role is actually very important, very strategic, because the trust which you create with the customer will go a long way. Because if customer trusts you, if customer feels that okay, someone is there, okay, who could listen to me without having a bias, without having a conflict of interest, then customer feels a lot secure. Here, I think there could be some biases, there could be some conflict of interest which customer could sense. Customers are very, very clever guys. They could smell it. But here you can't do that. Customer success manager should always give that liberty, that comfort to the customer, that I am here. If there is anything which you want us to do, I am here and I'll make sure that happens. A very good role. If you have played such kind of a role in your past experience, good. Even if you have not played such role, this is a fairly new role in the industry. So if you could showcase your skills in customer handling, if you could showcase your previous experience where you have dealt with difficult customers and made them happy eventually, then you are all in for a customer success manager role. The fourth role is of a cloud legal and compliance specialist. Well, if you are from an auditing or compliance background or a legal background, then you should know that customers are now very, very careful about what they are doing on cloud, because there are so many legal regulations, there are data privacy regulations, there are contractual obligations for which customers have to be made aware of. And as a legal and compliance officer, it is your responsibility to ensure that whatever the company is doing on the cloud is regulated, is fully audited, and is compliant in terms of the regulation of that particular geography or that particular business. For example, in Europe, we have GDPR compliance. We have, wherein we can, we have to protect personal data of the customer. So as a compliance officer, as a legal and compliance officer, it is your job to ensure that whatever the tech teams are doing, they are not breaking those regulations, because the penalty is very heavy, guys. If you break these norms, if you break these regulations, these contractual obligations, then you are in a big soup. And that's why this role becomes very important. And you have to have understanding of the contractual laws, the law of the land, the regulations, all those kind of things you need to be aware of. And if you're coming from an auditing or a compliance background, you would already be aware of some of those, but then you have to shape your knowledge as per the cloud industry. A very important role, a back-end kind of a role. So it is more working behind the scenes and sometimes appearing, but yeah, a very tough role, but a very, very promising role, because it is your backbone. If you miss on this, then you are gone as a business. So a very important role, and you could target this. Now let's look at our fifth and the final role before we discuss the bonus. The fifth role is of a cloud financial or a billing specialist. Sometimes it is also called as cloud financial analyst or cloud billing analyst. Okay, a very important role, because this role comes predominantly from a finance background. This role ensures that whatever cost we are incurring on the cloud is accounted for. Whatever bills we are generating on cloud is accounted for, is being looked at, it's being governed by some authority. Because in the recent past, the biggest challenge of the cloud computing or cloud industry has been that the moment customers starts using the cloud services, all the developers, all the technical teams start exploring cloud services, but the cloud bills just shoots up and it crosses the budget. And that's why, as a billing specialist, a financial specialist who would be more or less will be in the direct reporting of the CFO of the company, Chief Financial Officer, it is your job to ensure that there is a tight grip on how much we are spending and what is the return on investment on what we are spending. For example, we have billing calculators on cloud which estimates how much we will be charged for a certain project or for certain activity on cloud. As a billing specialist, you have to then track it. So it is a forecast. Then you have to compare the forecast with the actuals and make sure that it is in line. Billing administrators or billing specialists also set a monthly budget for a particular project. So for example, in Google Cloud, every project will have a specific billing administrator, and that billing administrator could have one project or could have 10 projects under him or her. And then there could be a cap limit, and that cap limit could be £5,000 per month. Now you cannot exceed it because that limit has been set, and if you are exceeding it, there has to be a proper justification which has to be shared with this person why it has exceeded. Have you not stopped your VMs, by the way? It has happened to us once that we kept one particular service running as a tech team. We generally don't believe in shutting down services. We don't bother about finances and all, right? But this person will screw you if you do that, because it is his job. Okay, so if you are someone who comes from a finance background, maybe you have done your MBA in finance, just learn a bit about cloud, learn how the billing works, learn how the the revenue model works for cloud, and I think it could be a very promising entry point for you in cloud computing or a cloud industry. So now we have covered all the 5 roles, and now we will talk about this bonus role. Okay, So now, after covering all these 5 roles on cloud, let's understand which bonus role I was talking about. Ta-da! So the bonus role I was talking about is of a cloud product manager. I actually skipped it because I thought maybe it's very obvious, but then I thought no, let's discuss it, because it is one of the most highest paid roles in the industry, and to an extent you don't need that level of technical knowledge for this role as well. So basically, cloud product manager will make sure that he's owning the whole product life cycle on cloud. He will be responsible for creating a product roadmap, a product vision, and make sure that the engineering team, the UI UX team, every team is working towards that particular product vision and product goal. And as a product manager, it is his responsibility to make sure that this product is being discussed with all the key stakeholders, right from sales team, the marketing team for go-to-market strategy, how we will be launching this product, how we will be selling or branding this product to the customers. So everything around that. And then you have to also define OKRs, which is called as objectives and key results. What kind of North Star metrics? What is your North Star? North Star means one particular aim, one particular goal you are looking, going towards. So that is your North Star metric. What North Star you are targeting. So anything to do with product management will be applicable here. And if you have experience in product management, then cloud product manager role would be a very handy role for you. And sometimes people coming from MBA backgrounds get it very easily. But for you, you have to understand that product manager role becomes trickier because you need to know so many things. You need to know finance, you need to know marketing, sales, UI, UX, engineering, support, everything. You need to be a kind of jack of all. Okay, so it's a very demanding role, but if you can fulfill it, then nothing like it. And from technical perspective, obviously, you are owning a product, so then you need to have enough knowledge about that particular product. You need not to be an expert, but you should be in a position to talk to the engineering team and explain your vision about the product, what kind of features. And an important role of a product manager is also researching the market, seeing what trends are coming in the market, how we can make our product better, what our competitors are doing in the market, how we can surpass them by delivering better services or better features. Okay. So very good role. You need to be very good in agile development. You need to be understanding the product lifecycle. You need to, if you have worked as a product owner, it's a very good advantage for you. You can definitely get into product management in cloud. So yes guys, this brings us to the end of this video. I hope you could target any of these roles, and for my technical guys, you have all the roles. Okay, so this is something which you could also target if you want to move out of your technical role and go into something new on the cloud. So yes guys, I hope it was useful. If it was, then give us a like, share it with your friends and family, and let us know in the comment which particular role you will be targeting next. And also, if you have any other role which I have not mentioned here, please let us know in the comments so that we can all learn together. So until we meet next time, keep learning, keep sharing all your knowledge, and yes, keep hustling. Bye for now.